Welcome back. So this is the update for the day. Actually, I will usually do a weekly update, and it tends to be on the Friday after the trading session. So I'm going to try to rush this video because I don't have a lot of time to do this. Kind of pressed for time, but in any case, let's just hit the highlights here and see what happened today. So I reshuffled my portfolio, as you'll notice, taking into consideration what I listened to yesterday regarding that millionaire turned billionaire, Pabrai, I believe his name is, from India. And Dollarama is a dollar store. Sorry about that. Dollarama is a dollar store in Canada, and I've noticed a lot of people are just going there for the groceries. So that's why I put it at the top, because it really represents the habits of people, and it represents a strong company. I'm not saying they're a blue chip company, but they're becoming something of a Walmart in Canada anyway. And I see this just growing and growing. Looking at the last month, it looks like support is 126. And in the short term, but that's not what this channel is about. We're not about short-term investing. We are patient people. I'm a patient person, so I'd prefer to pick it up at 100, as you could see from this big spike from 100. That's looking like support. But then we zoom out even further to a 1 year and 5 year, you get a better picture of how the stock is supposed to move. Okay, I'm having some technical difficulties right now, but there it is. Okay, so true support is under $100. I would say that's going to be a market crash. So once the market crashes, pick this one up. But this is on the Toronto Stock Exchange, notice. I think they have one on the NASDAQ, but I have to double check. So if I can pick this up at a discount, I will do that. Maybe even at $35. I know it's kind of wild, but that's what happened at the peak of COVID, $39. So 39 is looking like support in the event of a black swan event. So let's look at Dollarama again. Maybe is there an American version? No, they only have a Canadian one. So this is only on the Toronto Stock Exchange. And it is trading for $127 Canadian. So that's an important thing to note. So I can't just trade this with American funds, because that's what my fund is in US dollars. I'd have to put in, you'd have to exchange to Canadian currency and then go to the TSX index, and then you would request this stock. So it's one of the best stocks in any market, but particularly the Canadian one. Right, Dollarama. So we looked at that. There's a new stock on the block, for me anyway. Three stocks. I think we'll just look at those three in closing, but we will review the rest of the market right now. So nothing to really say about this one. Kind of is flatlining because of the naked short sellers. This will explode soon. I have no doubt it's going to be in the next weeks ahead. Maybe might take a month, who knows, but I'm going to just wait it out, because the longer you wait, the longer they wait without covering, they're going to be in trouble. So they have to cover their positions, and it's not going to stay stagnant for too much longer. I don't see this staying at 50 cents for the next, until it's August right now. By September 11th, perhaps, it'll probably, no pun intended, it's going to get somewhere higher anyway. Lumen is up a little bit. Nothing really to say. EDI, the one we covered yesterday. T-Stamp, I want to look at the action there. Actually, let's take a look at the action of say Rickards, but of Rich Man's Robotics, or Rich Tech. Sorry, I keep thinking it's Rich Man. QuantumScape, not much to say there. I think the big winner of the day is a stock that I've been promoting pretty hard on this channel. It's Beyond Meat. Had a great day today, and it really proves this channel to be a channel to listen to. Let me just scan through these before I can't find Beyond Meat. Where did it go? Because I sold all my positions in Beyond Meat. Pretty much is like a masterclass. I want to say masterclass, but like a tutorial as to how to trade. Pretty much accomplished that today. I feel really good about that. I'm thankful for that. Very grateful that things worked out. Yeah, nothing much to say about the other stocks. Nvidia a little bit down. AVGO, I mean, it was up earlier, but kind of breaking even right now. It looks like things are turning around. I want to mention Palo Alto, the one I mentioned yesterday. Palo Alto is a security, has to do with cybersecurity relating to AI, and they're up a little bit. Papa John's looks like they're on the rise. Yeah, I think that's about it for the markets. I want to mention as well in passing that if you look at the order of these stocks, you'll notice there's somewhat of not just a trend, but you got Netflix, Tesla, right? You got Spotify, Palantir. So there's a point to this. Why do I have all these stocks ordered the way they are? Actually, this one should be closer to the top. But they're ordered this way because these are mostly blue chip stocks at the bottom. These are stocks that I'm looking at to get a general sense of, is the market crashing? Because once these drop to very low lows, let's say Walmart's at $25, for example, or Exxon's at 40, Amazon's at 50. Like if they're at half the price that I'm used to seeing them, McDonald's actually was a good price at $2.45. But if McDonald's is at $100, you know there's something really bad going on. This is an index, I believe, the QQQ, like an ETF sort of. If I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check whether I'm making that up. And then you've got these three companies that own a large chunk of the market. So if these are going down, then you know something's really wrong, because these are usually very stable. Let's just open this one and take a look at March 2020. So this looks like a ETF, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a fund. Yeah, let's take a look at 2020 March. So here it is. 354. So that's what it looks like when the market crashes. It went from 565 all the way down to 354. And then it recovered to 900 plus. And it took a little bit of a dip here in October to 598. And then it's going to go right back up. So that's why I keep those in check, just as a barometer. You know, it's like the room temperature. You're seeing how is the market doing. Okay, so that's all for that one. I'll just review the news quickly. Boeing's in the news, okay. I don't think there's anything large to report, to be honest. I didn't notice anything. They talk recession. Okay, so there is, as I was mentioning yesterday, there are red flags popping up, and this is just another one. It's more and more people, and not just nobodies. These are some of the biggest people in the finance world. Anyway, they're also talking about it. So don't know if it's demon or diamond, however you pronounce that. I'm going to say demon. Buffett talk recession and American resilience. Why more market volatility lies ahead. So this is, okay, so we're talking about it. Boeing's Starliner has a problem. NASA might turn to SpaceX. Okay, let's try to get the gist of this article. Let me just pause and get the gist of it for you. Okay, it refuses to pause. I'm going to have to just... No, you need a subscription. Well, anyway, I'm going to look up this man. I believe he's a very prominent figure. Recession here. Let's just look it up quickly. Maybe there's another article. So this is... so Barron's is reporting this today, but Market Watch... I should say Quartz is also reporting the same thing. So I'm going to look up Quartz. So you will see that article. You don't have to just take my word for it. It says they're in agreement. Okay, there's nothing there. I guess it's only on Google. Only Google has that article. What do you need to know? Anyway, I'll just read it from my phone. It could take too long. So JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon sounded pretty optimistic about the economy in an interview. Okay, I think he's just making things up. America's alive and well, so he's in denial. People are optimistic. No, what he's doing is he's trying to prevent panic selling. Resiliency of America, I agree with that. America's resilient, but we'll see what goes on. We'll see how things pan out. So global stock market chaos that took place on Monday. Markets fluctuate. This is what he's saying. I think people overreact a little to the daily fluctuation of the market. Sometimes it's for good reason. There is good reason. There is very good reason. Okay, so he's trying to calm people down, whereas Warren Buffett, the actions speak louder than words. They can say anything they want. They can say, oh, the market's fine, America's resilient, but then Warren Buffett goes ahead and sells half his position in Apple, and then you have the that individual yesterday, I forgot the name right now. Anyway, the CEO, in my video, I mentioned it. This was the pretty much the thumbnail. Let me read the thumbnail. It says here, BlackRock CEO Lawrence Fink sells X amount of shares. It's actually 25% over the last year. And he sold a big chunk just the other day. So those actions speak louder than anything they could ever say. I could tell you, oh, the market is fine, everybody. Just keep buying stocks. But then meanwhile, behind closed doors, I'm selling all my positions and just trying to secure my assets. Those completely, double talk. But I try to give you the truth here on this channel. So Beyond Meat was really a clinic on how to trade stocks, because I bought this at $6 and I said to myself, okay, this is going to go to at least $8, but in case it doesn't reach $9, because I was thinking $9, $10, because one as high as what, $9.24. So it's a good thing I pulled back on my estimate, because I was thinking, oh, it might go to 10, because in the last, people are thinking maybe it'll go to 120, maybe they'll go to 30, 20, 15, 12. But it pulled back at the exact number of $9.24. And if we look at the historical chart, just the last 52 weeks, $10 was clear resistance, and then $10.69. So some people might have been expecting 10. but you have to take into account everything going on around the world, inflation, and people being less bullish about the market. And even the price itself, look, the bottom was $6, which and the top support was $6, resistance was 10. Now, if we look at the last 6 months, it tells us a different story, because the new support level was $5, and now that means the resistance level is also going to move in tandem, so it'll be not 10 but $9. So I should have set my exit for 9, but I thought just in case it doesn't reach that, I don't want to have regrets, so I said $8. So I sold my positions in that, and I'm putting in a new position to buy back at $5, and then sell it again. It's just rinse and repeat. That's pretty much an easy way to go. So if you do that, if you're able to buy the Beyond Meat stock and you get it at $5 hypothetically, and you sell at 8 or 9, so what is 3 divided by 8? That's roughly 38%. Or 4 divided by 9, 44. So you're making at least 30-40% of an increase in Beyond Meat. So that is a really good stock. As you can see, it just pops up whenever it wants to. Out of nowhere, it'll just pop up, as we saw today. And then it'll, out of nowhere, also in the same day or the next day, will drop all the way down. So it's like someone pressed a button, said, "Oh, we got to cover these shorts, and let's do it." And then they covered them, and they brought the price low again. They just brought it back down. So if you're thinking the market is rigged, I'm going to answer, yeah, it is rigged. It's just it's rigged for the shorts. It's rigged for not for retail investors. It's rigged for the hedge funds. Because this short is heavily, this stock is heavily shorted. It should be up in the at least in the 20s. So this is an artificial price. So I'm just trying to work with what they will give us. That's what we have to do, just adjust with the times. So in the event of a stock market crash, will this go to like $2? I don't know. But it is worth much more than what we see here. I think it is, at least 10, but because you have to be a little more conservative with your estimates, you just got to play the system, or else the system will play you. All right, let's look at the volume. 31 million above the average, like 10 times above the average, over 10 times. So that's all for Beyond Meat. Just look at the rest of the tabs. There's 5 more. So what happened with Rich Tech today? The range was 53 cents to 61. So had a drawback a little bit, and then it went up to 60. People are selling off at 60. Looking at the last 5 days, looks like 60 is resistance short term, but long term, I'm thinking it probably does get to at least $1.50, as we covered in the previous video. Someone was saying the minimum price is actually $1.50. It can't be any lower than that, although in reality it is. But the nature of the way this stock works, or not the stock, but what that post was saying, is that it can't go past $6 initially. So notice here, it was offered at 5. Did it break 6? It did not until January. So from November, December, it took like 3 months. So I think within that 3-month period, it was not allowed to go past 6. And then it broke and eventually went to, I think it's $11. Yeah. So that's all for Rich Tech. Very bullish on that. That is primed to explode. It's gonna go up. T-stamp. Let's look at it's because a Tarrant stamp, no, it's Trust stamp. That's what the T stands for. The day's range, 45 cents to 52, and it ended the day, not finished, but it closed closer to the low, and the high was 52 cents. So it's not really moving too much, but I'm just watching and waiting to see how this reacts, because we we can say, okay, maybe it hits $2, maybe it hits $1. It's hard to say. It's hard to predict what will go on with the stock. It hasn't seen any action in quite a while, since last year. So it's been relatively dead, to be honest. So that's why it's a wait and see situation. Because I think when it does go up, and I feel like it will eventually, how high will it go? And not only how high will it go, but how low will it be shorted after it goes up? We can get a sense of that looking at the last year. So it went up to $3 or $2 and was shorted to 140. 140, 120. So I think you can expect them to short it pretty quickly. It's not going to last for too long. But we'll see what happens. Maybe they're going to deliver on their plans. So that's T-Stamp. Okay, GoPro is one of the stocks that meet the criteria of what Pabrai was speaking about the other day. He was saying, name brands, consumer habits, but also you need to look at areas that are hated and unloved. You will find anomalies. Just be patient. So these three stocks, I believe, fit that criteria, but especially GoPro. I was looking into GoPro, researching how much they're worth and their annual income. I was looking at kind of statistics, doing my, not technical analysis, but the fundamental analysis, I think is the term. So that's what I was doing most of the day, just researching on these, doing the background check, so to speak, on these companies. So what can I say about GoPro? On their YouTube channel, they have over 11 million subscribers, 11.2 to be exact. And their views are 3.7 billion, so closer to 3.8, just to round that number off. And I'm going to read some comments on their comments on just in general about action cameras. It says, Action 4, that's not GoPro, it's a different company. Ace Pro makes it, I believe. This cam is a game changer. Previously, I've got the GoPro 10. I see huge differences. They have a magnetic mount, the other companies. Better battery, a low light footage. You can't even compare. And then another person complains and says, GoPro has many issues that they've had for a decade, such as overheating, freezing. Actually, that happens to my GoPro. It does freeze. And long charging times. Most of the Insta Pro versus GoPro videos keep pulling up these same problems. So the Action 4, it's another brand of action camera. It takes it only 18 minutes to charge to 80% and takes under an hour to charge 100%. Ace Pro takes about 20 to 46 minutes to fully charge. And then GoPro Hero 12 takes 2 hours, so double the time. So that's a common complaint. On their social media, GoPro has 20.8 million followers, 20.8. Whereas their closest rival, DJI, has 4.2 million. So you can see they have a lot more presence. Another company that they're competing with called Insta360. So Insta360 and DJI are their competitors, and their competitors do not have a stock. You can't trade them. So that's where they have the advantage. And they are clearly the leader in that industry. GoPro is. And so I think we could see maybe not so much a squeeze, but we can see some action in the future for GoPro. Apologize for that. Okay, so let's just look at the last year and see what is support. Well, we're in support right now, to be honest. This is like uncharted territory. The lowest it's been in the last 5 years, back at the COVID times, was 248. So this is at least worth 248. If I'm really being honest with you, this is worth at least 248. It's a very conservative estimate. And what is true resistance? Because we have to take into account, the economic environment we're in right now, the economic climate, inflation, the conditions around the world with war, instability, the election year, obviously. What is actual resistance? That's a good question. I don't think it's 248. I think that's support. 229 is really support. We're way below support. And you could say, oh, this stock's on life support. I think if we look at the early days for this stock, sorry about that. There's a lot of noise going on. If we look at the past, I think it gives us a little bit of a glimpse into the future, so to speak. So 240 is really or $2 would be true support. We're below that again. But what is true resistance? I think we can look at these numbers. I think $5 might be true resistance. But let's look at the last year. It might give us a bit of a hint. Maybe it's $4. It looks like it might be 4. It might be $4 is true resistance. I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's closer to that. Closer to 4. So $3-4 might be the true resistance. So if you can pick this up right now, or starting Monday, pick it up at 120 or sub $2, and you sell this for $3 to $4, you're gonna make at least double. So this is actually a great deal. So I hope I've identified a potential. I think I did. I just identified a potential smash hit, but that remains to be seen whether that is fulfilled and comes true, becomes real. So that's all I have to say for GoPro. Market cap 183 million, but that will change when the price changes, right? But I think they have billions of dollars in revenue. Just from their YouTube channel alone, they're making a lot of money. They're probably pulling in hundreds of thousands just from the YouTube and social media aspects. Okay, another stock that fits the description of Pabrai, to look at areas that are hated and unloved, finding anomalies. Here's another one, the gap. I chanced upon this by accident or by providence, or whatever your perspective is, because I was looking at Burberry and I thought, should I invest in Burberry? But it's flatlining. There's nothing going on in the Burberry. But the gap, things are happening with the gap. Let's look at the last year. There is clear support here at $19. And there's clear resistance at 28, 29. The last 5 years, we get a better picture of what's going on. $5 is probably closer to the true resistance in the event of a market crash. Between $5 to $8 is a really good entry point. So if you could pick it up 5 to 8 in the event of a market crash, sell it at 28, 30, you're making 6 times your money. So this is a very good investment. I'm going to rank this up there. I'm going to keep that that's why it's my watch list. Their market cap is $8.5 billion. So they're a very strong company. This is a better deal than GoPro in my opinion. But both of those stocks, if you could just diversify your portfolio, you can't really go wrong with these. But I would, again, wait for a market crash depending on the election results. Who wins will determine how the rest of the market goes and the rest of the global economy, to be honest. America has such a great impact on the rest of the world economy. All right, and their 1 year target, $27. You know what? Yeah, I think that's about right, 27. But I would not enter this stock at 20. I would probably wait for this low valley of $8, 5 to 8. So let me just look at GoPro once again. Let's look at, I didn't see their estimate. And then we'll close with SoundHound. Their target is 135. So yeah, it's still higher, but they've had to adjust their estimates because of the recent volatility and just, people have their opinions. They could be wrong and they probably are wrong. I think this goes to at least $2 to $3. Okay, last stock. SoundHound. I think that's just an app that I use on my phone. It's like the Shazams. If I'm not mistaken, they're like Shazam. But I could be wrong. It's a SoundHound AI. It develops voice artificial intelligence solutions. So I do use an app called SoundHound. I don't know if it's the same SoundHound that listens to the song, and then it tells you the name of the artist and the name of the song. I don't know if that's the same company. It might be. But in any case, I like the way the stock is moving. And their market cap's over $1 billion, 1.6 billion. Volume looked good today. Target, 1 year target, $7. So that's a very interesting play. Look at the last 6 months. Support is looking like 350. It's only been around for not even a year. Oh, actually a couple years. Support at 121. Well, if you could pick this up at $1, that'd be great. $1 or $2 or less. And flip it at $8 or $6. In any case, is there a maximum chart? Okay, no, since 2022. Yeah, I'd be looking to get into this. The entry point would be maybe I would say $3 or less. I don't think it's really been tested too much because it had a long period of flatlining from 2022. It went from $3 all the way to $1, and then was stuck in that funk. Went up to 4, was stuck here for a bit too, went up to 4. But then we see like barren wasteland here from $2, sub $2 from August 2023 up to February 2024 is pretty dead. Could not break $2 for the life of it. So it stagnated, and then eventually it broke out, went to $8, almost $9. And then we see it's back to life. So if you really want to pick this up sort of desperately, and I hate to use that word, but if you're desperate to pick this up, maybe 350 is your entry point, and your exit would be 6. You could do a lot worse than that, but personally I would wait for a market crash again. If you're looking to pick this up, I'd pick it up at $1, between $1 to $2, and then flip it at 6. Still a good investment. All right, so that's all for this video. I just want to do that weekly update, and if you want to review the rest of the week, I did a video almost every day this week, multiple uploads, just because there's so much going on in the market. And till next time, we'll see you on Monday. Catch you on Monday after the market close. Probably we'll see what markets are pretty busy, and just the volatility of it all is very. It's no dull moment, especially this week, and discovering these new stocks. So, thank you for your time. And until next time, we'll see you on Monday. God bless you. God bless your investments. Take care and have a great weekend.